If you're thinking about selling...
Yeah, man, what's that word, man? Player, partner, family, relatives, and everybody out there in YouTube world.
Yeah, now.
It's your player, partner, Cliff, man. You're a humble, good journalist. And like I told y'all, man, I'm going to keep y'all updated with this Get Money Lil Ronnie case. I'm going to keep y'all updated. Now, it's looking like arrests have been made in connection to the shooting deaths in that Forest Hill slam. So we're going to go ahead and jump right off into that video. But then also we have Get Money Lil Ronnie's baby mom, also the mother of the unfortunate little girl who lost her life. And we got a lot to get into. So let's just go ahead. Come on, man.
I gotta get back in the algorithm.
Get off to that.
Man, gotta get back in the algorithm.
To begin with that breaking news, there is an arrest in the shooting deaths of a local rapper and his 5-year-old daughter at a car wash in Forest Hill. Tonight, police say they have one of the accused killers, but they're still looking for another suspect. Allie Spilliards is in the newsroom with more on this major development. Allie?
Brian, Forest Hill's police chief tells us that the Texas Rangers arrested 24-year-old Adonis Robinson in Livingston today. That's about an hour north of Houston. He faces capital murder charges in the deaths of the dad and daughter. So does a 21-year-old who's still on the run. Police say it's been a coordinated effort tracking down the men who they say shot and killed a father and his daughter at this Forest Hill car wash Monday morning. Family says the victims were local rapper Ronnie Smith and 5-year-old Armani.
And now we've identified the two cowards who took the lives of these innocent people.
Just one day after Forest Hill Police Chief David Hernandez held a press conference, naming 24-year-old Adonis Robinson and 21-year-old Jacoby Russell as the alleged killers, he announced Robinson, who's also a registered sex offender, was arrested by the Texas Rangers in Livingston, about an hour north of Houston. Robinson is charged with capital murder. The search continues for Russell. According to police, both are from Fort Worth and accused of approaching the victims in the vacuum stalls before opening fire before driving away in a white Kia, which was already found.
So I'm wondering if they've seen that little girl in that car, bro. Because they said that they approached both victims in the vacuum stall. And I'm just wondering, like, did y'all see that little girl? Did y'all even care to look? Did it not matter? I'm trying to understand this, bro, because... like, I come from a generation where we had morals, codes, principles. Even if you was the most gangsterest killer or whatever you claim to be, bro, like, you still had boundaries. You wasn't finna deliberately take out an innocent child, bro. So
right.
My question is, if they were able to see into the car, I'm just wondering if they seen that she was in there, bro.
Closing, I want to reaffirm to the community that we will hold criminals accountable. We're not going to allow them to come in here and think that they can get away with it.
Hernandez has said the motive is unknown, but that Smith's rap career and social media presence could hold clues. Tonight, Hernandez also thanked the public and continued urging those with information to come forward. Brian.
Thank you, Allie.
Bro, I couldn't even bear it. Now, like I said, y'all, we got other things to get into. As y'all can see up top, this is Lil Ronnie's baby's mom, and this is actually, too, the mother of the little girl, if I'm not mistaken. We grieve different. A lot of people grieve different, and I understand that, and I get that. And especially in a situation like this, to lose your child and also to lose the father of your child in the same day, that's hard to cope with.
Good looking out, Mark.
Very, very
good looking out, Mark. Appreciate that.
I'm not gonna sit up here and
Mark just donated $10 to the channel. Good looking out, and Mark brought merch before. Good looking, Mark. I know you tapped in with me. Appreciate you, bro.
We're gonna go into this next video without being judgmental. We're gonna try to be as lenient as possible, understanding that this girl is grieving. Although it's a lot that I don't agree with here, we're gonna go into this as lenient as possible. But we gotta play this, man. We got to.
So we just tapping in. Listen, hold up. I know y'all ain't seen me in a minute, but it's the month of Ramadan and I'm a fasting Muslim. but I cannot let my channel go down and let my LD drop. I can't. But I've been late because I do the morning show and I, getting up, I can't, you know what I mean? Because first thing in the morning, I don't want to be cussing and fussing. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just trying to be, on the straight and narrow. I'm not perfect. Allah's perfect. I'm not. But back in the building with another podcast vlog. This is Raw Dope Podcast Vlog, and I'm your host, Hand 5000. And in my famous words, good morning, 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 good morning. What's happening? Man, I don't know what's going on. My stuff is all discombobulated. I'm really getting mad. I'm really getting mad, though. I'm really getting mad. I'm really getting maddie. I said, do it like that. But good morning, 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 good morning. Yes. Y'all is in the building with me. And if you wonder what I'm tussling with, is this. And kind of like the studio kind of discombobulated too. Everything is kind of like discombobulated right now. This is my little piece to my portable camera, and I just don't know what's wrong with this. Like, why does this don't go all the way up and do what it's supposed to do? I don't know. Oh, maybe this needs to be tightened. I don't know, but it's not working. But listen, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes! We back in the building with another podcast vlog, and we on the road to the interviews. I am currently building my own studio. This is just my space in the crib, but I'm building my own studio, and these interviews are getting ready. You know what I mean? These interviews, I'm getting ready. You know what I mean? These interviews I'm getting ready for. And it's just a month of Ramadan, man. And so they might play with the algorithm. I really go through it on YouTube, y'all. If you had my space is messed up, y'all then would never seen it like this. Argument, you know what I'm saying, in the house, you know how it goes. I'm just trying to fix this light, y'all. I'm just like kind of like my space is like kind of so like trashy. There you go. So again, I'm back in the building with another podcast vlog. I didn't even do the thumbnail, right? It's me on the thumbnail because I just been so just like, yeah. But I'm back, bro. I'm back, and we got some stories. Lil Ronnie, that's a Texas rapper that was killed with his 5-year-old daughter. And I'm playing clips from that. So when he was killed, right, honestly, when Ronnie was killed, I looked at the video. And I'm giving the shooters the benefit of the doubt. And what I mean by that, because a lot of dudes just like to jump the gun, just point the finger. I don't think that they was intended to hurt that little girl. I don't think they saw that little girl. I just don't think. I just think they got out. They were idiots. And I don't think that little girl was just supposed to be the target. I just don't think that. You know what I mean? I'm just be honest with you. I'm not no fake person. You know what I mean? I really be outside, man. And I like, that wasn't it. But 2 people were caught, 3 people, female is in there. I'm getting into it all because everybody, like, I need the news clippings because so many vloggers, like, you have to hop on top of stories before us vloggers get it. Because once the vloggers get it, that's all is in the algorithm. That's all is in the algorithm. Like, bruh, like, and then a female was caught in this, a getaway driver. And unfortunately, in Texas, they might get the death penalty for this. They probably gonna be on the death penalty list. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They gonna probably be on the death penalty list. I'm not even gonna sit here and play games with y'all. They probably gonna get the death penalty. If they found guilty of this, they will get the death penalty. Now I mean they will. Here we go. They will get the death penalties. Texas don't play no games, y'all. Y'all, I know y'all looking like, why do my thing look like that? Yo, it's just all messed up. Let me try to fix this real quick, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Y'all, like, I just don't feel like missing a couple. Hit that notification button, y'all. 7 people in the chat. Please like this video. Like, I'm discombobulated. It's the month of Ramadan, bro, and I'm different right now. I'm not on no different stuff, but it's just, things are different right now, bro. Just like, okay, go down a little bit. Because this thing was on here the right way forever. Like, let me do it like this. What is this thing? Like, why is it not going to where I need it at, y'all? You know what I mean? Then why is it looking like that? This is me fixing the light, y'all. There you go. This is me fixing my light. I don't like the way it looks because the light is in my eye. All right. Okay, let me open that up a little bit. Open that up. That's better. I think that's better. I don't know. So, this guy, Little Ronnie, he shot and he's killed. So I don't believe it's not a real big clipping on this. The feds arrested. You know what I mean? Because I like to get the news. I want to get the news take on this. Charleston White goes off about this. I want the news. I want the news on this. Yeah, here we go. I want to give you the news because when you get the news, and then I'll get to vloggers.
Is underway for two
Here we go.
murder suspects.
Come on, y'all. Like this video. Come on, man. Like this video, man. Donate. Turn me up.
And 21-year-old Jacoby Russell are responsible for shooting and killing a local rapper, Ronnie Sibley, and his 5-year-old daughter Monday at a car wash. Fox 4's Dion England has the latest from police. Dion.
Hey there, Steve. The police chief here in Forest Hill says the search is on for the two men responsible for this double murder. The chief also called them cowards.
They're cowards. Yeah.
Two capital murder suspects are now identified and subjects of a manhunt.
They're scared. They're cowards. They're hiding.
They are 24-year-old Adonis Robinson and 21-year-old Jacoby Russell, both of Fort Worth. Investigators say the two are the gunmen captured by surveillance cameras at a car wash Monday during the ambush and double murder of music rap artist Ronnie Sibley and his 5-year-old daughter, Armani.
We have public enemy number 1, Adonis Robinson, who's also a registered sex offender. Public enemy number 2, Jacoby Russell, who's on the run.
Public records show Robinson was arrested in 2019 and later convicted for the violent assault of a woman who was walking along a trail near Marine Creek Reservoir. Forest Hill police will not speculate on a motive in the double murders, nor will they say if or how the suspects and victims are connected, pointing out the Texas Rangers are the lead agency in the investigation.
Based on the music industry that he's a part of, it is all part of the investigation. And like I said earlier, we're in a fact-finding base. Everything that's being put out is being reviewed and analyzed by the Texas Rangers.
We know from surveillance images obtained by TMZ that Sibley was chased on foot through the car wash parking lot before he was shot. Police say it's unclear if Robinson and Russell could be hiding out in the Metroplex. However, they are the subject of a nationwide be on the lookout alert.
They are dangerous, they are armed, and we need you to please call 911 and let our police officers respond and take appropriate action.
Now, we asked the police chief if there was a vehicle description to go along with this search. The chief let us know that the vehicle used during the double murder is already recovered. He would not say where that vehicle was found. The original.
Yeah. So now, after I do that, I can get into the bag now. I get into the bag. I'm in the bag.
A day after a shooting left a North Texas father and his young daughter dead, two gunmen remain on the run.
Surveillance images obtained by TMZ captured what appears to have been a targeted attack. Tonight, city and community leaders gathered to discuss the frightening crime, but police released no new details about the status of their investigation. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager was there and is in with what she's learned tonight. Peyton.
Hi, Stephen, Heather. Yeah, Forest Hill police initially told us they would hold a press conference this afternoon, and then they ultimately postponed that press conference to tomorrow. The chief of police there tells me he's working alongside the Texas Rangers in this case, and they need at least one more day until they speak publicly. Meanwhile, we know police are looking for two suspects in this case. Tuesday, tokens offering condolences sat outside Slappy's car wash off Forest Hill Drive. A Fort Worth police officer guarded the property, which is still temporarily shut down. It's where Monday, 5-year-old Armani Sibley and her father, 30-year-old Ronnie Sibley, were murdered in broad daylight by two gunmen, according to police. Still images obtained by TMZ show Ronnie Sibley, a North Texas rapper also known as Lil Ronnie, running across the parking lot of the car wash and two men chasing him while opening fire. If you zoom in on the left side of the screen, two men are seen, each holding a firearm. Police are still searching for the pair of suspects who took off in a white Kia. The little girl was killed while in the maroon Challenger. Sky 4 video shows the amount of shell casings surrounding Sibley's vehicle.
If you were aware that a takedown was going to take place prior to it happening, you are not only part of the problem, but you are the problem.
Tuesday, Fort Worth City Councilman Chris Nettles, Forest Hill Mayor Stephanie Boardingham, faith leaders, and advocates against gun violence sent a message to the community. Monday's double murder marks the fourth and fifth murder in Forest Hill this year. In all of 2024, the city had 0.
This moment needs to be taken as a gun violence.
I tell you, them boys
We're
get
going to
the death
stop
penalty.
it now.
They get the
and we're going
death
to put our
penalty.
foot down now. And
They
this
get
is
the
it.
death penalty.
Because we can't keep doing
They get
this.
the
We
death
can't
penalty.
keep burying our children.
Fox 4 is told the Sibleys live in Crowley, but Monday stopped in Forest Hill. Little Armani attended elementary school in Crowley and was part of the Safari Sports cheer squad, which issued a statement to Fox 4 Tuesday saying they're devastated by this loss and are praying for the family. Family spokesperson Bishop Rodnnie McIntosh says the young girl was just dropped off to her father at the car wash minutes before the gunfire.
My mother wants everyone to know that she is heartbroken and she is grieving. And on behalf of her mother, I would ask that they would do the right thing and that they would come forward.
Boys getting the death penalty. Now, let me tell you something. Now, listen. Please, if you just come into and you tap into and walk into my channel, you don't have to be here, but like the video. They're getting the death penalty. This crime happened out of Texas. The father was killed, and then that baby girl. That baby girl just enhanced that. They're getting the death penalty. If they found guilty in Texas, they're getting the death penalty. They're getting that needle. They're getting that needle. They're getting that needle in them. That needle going in them. The needle going in them this week. Not next week, not the week after. That needle going in them. They can hang Christmas up. They can hang Christmas up.
Which was yesterday. They released that they have identified one of the suspects, but no names were released. Also, at today's press conference, we asked Forest Hill Mayor what the city was doing to combat this recent spike in crime, and she told reporters that we would have to ask the chief of police, and that's something we hope to ask him tomorrow.
Getting a nanny is supposed to make your life easier.
So, like I said, man, y'all go just Google that. You know, the car wash murder in Texas, and I'm just going up on this, man. They walked him down, man, and now I want to know what it was about. They said it was over Go Yayo, that he was running with the Houston artist Go Yayo. That's super tough. You know what I mean? That's, you know, Go Yayo, you know, say he's a thoroughbred, and they say Shorty was, you know, running around with him. So it is a real thing out here, y'all. You can be held accountable for who you hang around. That's just law. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie. So Charleston White spoke out and linked on the joint. Now I don't like the fact that, you know, when you put people in, here it is right here. Y'all gonna hear for your own self. When you put people in there now, Go Yayo, if you don't know it, if you're familiar with hip hop, I'm a hip hop head. So if you're familiar with hip hop, Go Yayo is a Houston artist. Just come on not too long ago. Got a little buzz in the street, making money all in Texas and the outskirts. But you know what I mean? He a knucklehead. So this is how people feel about it.
Y'all help kill this shit like this here. Remember, y'all all got behind Go Yayo, and all he did was fight. And all people died around him. Children died around Go Yayo. Y'all forgot? Haven't y'all forgot? You out with your daughter and sit up your slab. You out with your daughter and sit up your slab.
Now.
On this content just made me hungry, y'all. And I am fasting. And this content just made me hungry. Boy, I'm talking about, huh? Texas man goes out speaking on Lil Ronnie. He dug up. Wow. I want to see what Charleston White had to say about this. I think that's where he from. Charleston White from Fort Worth, Texas. That like button, y'all. That notification button. I'm looking up something, bro. Yeah, there it is. Here we go. Charleston White let them boys have it. And I believe him on that, though. Like, some things you gotta speak up about. Like, some things is just out of order, bro. And even if, like I said, though, I don't believe in my heart that these individuals I don't believe in my heart that these individuals set out to kill that girl. And if they did, that's cool, bro. That's cool. You know, and if they did or didn't, they're gonna get the death penalty. I can almost promise you that. You ain't even got to wake up in the morning and think nothing out of that. Them boys gonna get the death. I'm trying to get Charleston White speaks on it. Go around the death like, where's that? And Sonny Nash, he the one that played the clip. I don't lie. I'm gonna pause somebody time he talk. I ain't getting into him. You feel me? Like I ain't like I gotta get out on Melrose too. Check out that Marathon Burger too. That Marathon Burger. You know what I mean? Shout out to Black Sam, Nipsey Hussle brother, for opening this up. You know what I mean? Please hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. You feel me?
I had to show y'all the whole entire thing.
It's brother Sonny Nash.
She had to pay for her father's sins. The preacher can't preach that at the funeral. But we all gotta pay for our father's sins. The scripture.
Hold up, y'all, man. Hey, I want to do this, man. My man asked me about this. Shout out to my guy, Frank Nitty. My boy Frank Nitty. Shout out to Frank, man. He just had his great granddaughter. You know what I mean? The convict, my brother Frank Nitty. OG Frank Nitty, man. Shout out to Frank Nitty, man. Shout out to Frank Nitty. He just, Frank Nitty did triple life, had triple life in prison. Did 30 years in prison, and he didn't get to see his kids grow up. But this is his great grandbaby, his grandkid, and his great grand that he's finally getting to see born. He and reason why he wanted me to speak on this because he said I've been locked up, basically his whole life. He said I never seen none of my kids, I never seen nothing. And it's the first grandchild, sick kid, anything that I'm actually seeing born. So it's a big shout out to that, man. Shout out to Frank Nitty and his grandbaby, and yeah, they getting busy. And just congratulations, man. And she was born healthy. And Zori, her name's Zori. You know what I mean? She was born healthy, man. Shout out to Frank Nitty for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, he definitely home. So that's it. Let's just finish with Charleston White.
Never met that mother before. You gotta pay for it. Same with your mama. You gotta suffer for it. And it's out of your control, boys and girls. You don't get to pick the mother and father that you were born to. You don't get to choose the conditions. You don't get to choose the circumstances.
A few moments later.
Y'all clap for it. Oh, man, he a snitch. Man, call the police on him. When the Fort Worth ISD came out and was giving out the $1,500, $1,750 for turning the gang member with a gun. Come on now, y'all clap for this. Now y'all want to cry. But you laugh later. Now you crying now. You laugh later. Now you crying now. And now all the city is. Y'all helped build this city like this here. Remember, y'all all got behind Go Yayo, and all he did was fight. And all people died around him. Children died around Go Yayo. Y'all forgot? Haven't y'all forgot? My 40 go boom. They took this song. Let me play it for you. Hold on. Let's play it. Let's listen to it because I remember these songs.
You said that Ronnie dug up his people's grave. So what I'm saying is this, when you dig deep into the crates, the only victim, let's keep it real. When you sign up for the streets, right? You know what I'm saying? You're not a victim. Something my daddy taught me, something my uncles taught me, even my grandmother. You're not a victim when you're in the streets. Stop playing. You're not a victim. You know what I mean? You're not a victim when you sign up for the streets. The only victim, because as this case plays out, the only victim is that 5-year-old girl. Because allegedly they saying her daddy, he would go, he's doing these diss records. This drill music is becoming a problem. And I tell dudes this all the time, bro. I say, when y'all be going hard, do you ever think about your mother, your kids, or your girlfriend, or your brother, or your sister? When you pull that trigger, or you go diss somebody, you go to somebody's graveyard and piss on somebody's grave, spit on somebody's grave, disrespect all this, you don't think the get back don't have no limitations to the get back. So when the get back has no limitation to the get back, you get reckless, unacceptable murders. A 5-year-old, and like I said, I don't believe in my heart, just me, I don't believe they was gunning for that little girl. I believe, if y'all also look at the video, it's all on YouTube, it's screaming everywhere. They shooting. When they see him, he runs. Nobody stands there and wear the car out. When he run, they chase him. One go this way, they chase him, they gun him down, stood over top, and got with him. I think the baby, the beautiful princess, rest in peace to that beautiful young princess who ain't even going to see her prom. 5 years old. She was just starting to learn where she was at, meaning the earth. 5 years old. She lost her life because of her daddy and his friends and what they had going on. It ain't nothing wrong with man dropping packages off, bro. It ain't nothing. If you in the streets, right? And you go hard, and you running with a bunch of idiots, yo. It ain't nothing wrong with not driving around with your kids, bro. It ain't nothing wrong with keeping your family away from your idiotic actions, bro. If you gotta take your kids, bro, you should have been like, "Hey, I'm getting on the highway, going this way with my kids, not no way into the no flex zone." You get what I'm saying? Because you got idiots out here to say, man, once you do something to somebody, people get back. They could target your mother, your grandmother, your kid's mother, your wife, your brother, your siblings. Some people get back is just so ignorant they don't care who get hurt, and that get back cost a 5-year-old beautiful princess her life. Somebody just want to play with Barbie dolls and do the veggie dance. She just want to do the veggie dance and listen to Baby Sharks, Paw Patrol. You get what I'm saying? All the little things that little beautiful little girls do. She can't do that because of what her father choose to be. He didn't know that day they was going to wipe him and his daughter down, because I'm quite sure if he knew they was going to wipe him and his daughter down, he wouldn't have been in the car. But if you into something, because one thing about me, right? My father always taught me that. I tell dudes, y'all got tennis shoes, y'all got gifts, y'all might even got a car at your 16th birthday. I ain't getting none of that from my daddy. But the shit, what he put in here, I outlasted a lot of my friends that got a bunch of gifts from their father, or their father paid child support. He sat me down and he talked to me and he gave me game, bro. And he taught me one thing: when you choose to be in the streets, keep everybody away from it. So, man, I didn't used to go home for months at a time. If I knew we was into something, I ain't used to go to my girlfriend's house. My old girlfriend, she wouldn't speak to me for a week. We into it. I kept that shit so far away from grandma's house that it was ridiculous. The dudes probably forgot where I even live at because I'm never there. You get what I'm saying? We hold court on the concrete. That's what I was taught. Certain things dudes don't learn in the house. Certain dudes go do shit outside and run back home and run in the house and hide in the house. We wasn't taught that. You know what I mean? On that, we had thoroughbreds. Keep that away from the house, man. Keep that away from the house. Right? You know my father personally, G, man. You know my daddy. You know him. We ain't gonna play like dudes don't know my father. You know what I'm saying? But my father I had a lot of one-on-ones. I tell people that all the time. Yo, my father ain't buying me no whole bunch of tennis shoes. Man, my father used to bump heads. But, man, when we get him out, I might roll up a blunt and sit down and talk to my father. Man, that man gave me stuff to still in me. That's why I'm still out here, bro. I'm still alive because of a lot of the knowledge that my daddy and my uncles gave me. And they were addicted to heroin. They loved it. They put that spike in them, man. I wait till they put that spike in them and go chop it up with them. You know what I'm saying? And then my uncles, I'm gonna be honest with you. My father, uncles, I would say was it's not a good thing, but for them, that's what they was into. The dope was good because they wasn't like this. Nah, I come out the urn with them boys cleaning the house up, sweating and talk. Hey boy, hey, come here, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up out of that urn. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up out of the sleeping, drug abusers. Everybody sleep now. I grew up where that stuff had them people cleaning the whole house up, the next door neighbor, then go bust the alley down, then do this and that. Whereas though the house was so clean, they made you sick. They the ones that raised me. The new drug abusers now are asleep. They sleep. You can't wake up my father and then what sleep. I'm just keeping it real. My father and them was not sleep when they got high. They wasn't sleep. Nowadays, the people that get high, they sleep. And I ain't see that. When somebody had too much of that stuff in them, they sweat and they move and they say, man, here. You know what I mean? It's just, if I force them, if somebody, when I was coming up and people that abused the heroin and the coke, if they was asleep, they OD'd. Because nobody was asleep. They used to stay up all night long cleaning, Jack, and dancing and singing. So I got a lot of knowledge. That's it. Nowadays, the dudes that get high sleep. They just sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. That's a fact, Ty. Where we from in Baltimore, the drug heroin is a big thing out here. Certain places in the world, methamphetamine, they use this. Some people use speeds. In Baltimore, powder coke and smack, you know what I'm saying, which we call heroin, was a thing. That was a thing. The three drugs that we know from out here was cook up, soft powder, and heroin. They the three drugs. So you had your people that love to cook up. Cook-ups, they be the times when you jump on a crackhead back in the day, you couldn't knock him out. Y'all might beat him up and put him down, but that crackhead got back up. That's how powerful the drugs. Dope fiends we used to call was slick dudes. See, if you called the crackhead a dope fiend, you was offending him. You were offending him. Crackheads were the worstest type of addicts. Dope fiends was slick. Slick. My father was slick when he put his stuff on. They had a different type of swag. Now all the dope fiends of the day are like this. Boy, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a different drug. The drug, people used to get high when I was younger. They cleaned up all day, bro. Run back and forth to the store on the bike, sweating bullets, working. That's what it did. The heroin back then put fire in them. So I say that all that to say that my father taught me certain things. You get what I'm saying? My father taught me certain things, and nowadays when I see crimes like this, if fathers wasn't around, you got a sex offender killing people. He raped women and killed people. That's who killed little Ronnie. One of them a sex offender, convicted of sex offender in 2019. He's a sex offender. 6 years ago, boy, 22. He was raping women. Now he's raping women at 16, and then 22, a killer, and shoot a little girl. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? Make it make sense. Everybody, that man presence is everything. And it ain't about toys and bikes. It ain't about toys and bikes and exclusive gifts. Because all that way out, I don't have one thing from my childhood that was brought. I don't have one thing from my childhood. Not one pair of tennis shoes, not one t-shirt, nothing. Nothing. I got this up here, bro, that not even my homeboys got it. Cause I be looking at them. Boy, it was tough. Growing up, I used to be like, Dad, bro. I used to get mad, but like, man, I ain't trying to really hang with them mother niggas today. That was dudes that had their mother around. I ain't trying to hang with them today because I'm on some old stealing cars. I don't fit, and we might get locked up today. So I don't want to hang around them dudes that got their mothers, got to go home to their mothers. I don't want to hang with them today because as soon as we get locked up, they're going to start crying, bro, and talk about their mother going to get them. They going to get in trouble, man. I'm breaking the law when I was a kid. Man, we might go to juvie tonight. I don't care. But we going to get this car. We're going to do what we got to do. They not going to catch us. But if we go to juvie, man, my mother going to come get me. Hey, Frank, I'm on YouTube. And what's up? What's up, Frank? This is my friend Frank White, y'all. You don't support my channel. I would do whatever you need me to do for you, Frank, because you're my friend. But you don't support my channel. You call me needing me to do, man. You call me to do something for you, but don't call me to give me a like. Go to my channel and make it 10 likes. Boy, hey Frank, I knew you my whole life, Frank. I know your name, your Instagram name, your real name. I know all your names. Man, I'll take care of that for you just because you my man. And I'm on YouTube right now. So go be my 10th like, Frank. Be my 10th like. That's all I ask. You can't check your viewers on YouTube. But I'm in the story, Frank. Call me and I'll take care of that for you. All right. Yes, my homeboy, Frank. I hate that when my homeboys call me and they want me to do something. Why you ain't go? Why didn't you just like my video? That's all. But like I said, man, back to what I'm saying, and this is all related to the little Ronnie situation. A lot of these killings and a lot of these things that happen in the United States of America is like fatherless joints, right? Just because my father was an addict, you know what I mean? He was fighting a sickness. My peoples didn't discredit him as a man. So when he was correcting me, he could correct me. Wasn't because he was out there, he was going through his life struggle. He come around, he wasn't my father. See, I grew up out that. I still have respect for my father at his low. Now, I might have cracked slick a couple times on my father. You know what I mean? I might have cracked slick a couple times on my dad, but my father was my father, bro. You know what I'm saying? I tell the dude all that. And another thing I want to get into, the Little Meech, what Boosie said to Little Meech. Everybody's crucifying Boosie because he did, but Boosie said the realest thing he could say to Lil Meech. Hey, yo, I don't care what 50 Cent did for you. That's your daddy. I'm crossing anybody for my daddy, bro. Dudes be out here praising dudes and calling other men they fathers and stuff like that. But you I don't care what your father did. You got to go straight now. And then one thing about my father, bro, anybody type, I ain't going, man, you jump on my father. My father didn't get jumped on. And God, thank you that he did. But man, my father would have came back and told me anybody jumped on it for the type of park ice to the top. Man, I would have came through that, man. Broad, no mask, no nothing about my father, bro. Yo, y'all dudes out here respect a man from the streets more than your daddy. That's your father, shorty. That was my first OG. My father first, then my uncles, then all that other stuff. Go down, no, let me break it down to you. My father, my uncles, then my big cousins. Then it was the streets. At the end of the day, my father, my uncles, and my big cousins, bro. That was who I looked up. A lot of dudes don't get that in the house. You know what I mean? Nah, you ain't got to delete. They going to dilute anything. It's Frank, a.k.a. Little Tudo. I don't know. I don't know if it's Frank Lord Tudo, but Lord Tudo, my long man. What he saying? No, he ain't gonna. Let me see what Frank at. Lord Tudo. I don't know who Lord Tudo is. I know who Lord Tudo is, but no, that ain't Frank. And what they say, Ty? I ain't reading, but anyway. So a lot of dudes, right, be individually messed up out here, yo. And a lot of dudes got these crimes because when you ain't had your father in your life, or you ain't had your uncles or big cousins in your life, dudes could tell you to go do something because nobody taught you how to not be a yes man. Nobody taught these dudes how to say no. You know what I mean? That comes a part of being with your father. Or your father was a crackhead, dope fiend, law-abiding citizen, military guy, millionaire. With your father being able to tell you how to use your brain is so important in the community. It's so important in the community, yo. Your father showing how you use your brain. Yeah, the uncles, you know what I mean? The uncles, nothing about your uncles, bro. You got to know it. Like, who was your first? Y'all tell me in the comments. Who was your first OG? If some people lost their fathers, I send my deepest condolences. Some people fathers wasn't active in their life. That's fucked up. But for the guys that fathers was around, you can see the difference. And then I know dudes that grew up in two-parent households that ended up messed up. You know what I mean? Because their mother was more dominant than they pops. You feel me? But my father, man, he hotter than me, bro. My uncles, and what my father didn't teach me, my uncles taught me. And what my uncles didn't teach me, my big cousins taught me. So I was raised up to how to respect the men, how to respect the authority of men. Yeah, there you go. My man said my father always drop signs. That's right. And do you understand? Like, how dudes don't respect their daddy, bro? I don't respect your daddy, bro. Your daddy, bro. You know what I mean? Even Moose said it on Dum Dum. I mean, you always talk about his father, like your father, bro. That's your father, bro. Like, what more? What more do a person want? Like, that's your father, bro. I'm not fitting to let nobody. Something. I remember being little, and I remember my big homeboy was pimping me, and I asked my father. I tell people this. I went to my father like that. I'm hustling for this dude, right? And he told me at the end of the week, give me $500 in cash and a half an ounce. But he telling me I gotta give him $400 off the half an ounce. Do that make sense? I asked my father this. My father said, "What? So what you hold up? Let me get this. What's the pay? Well, basically give me $100 a day, and at the end of the week, he give me a half an ounce, and the half an ounce supposed to be mine. But he telling me make $1,000 off the half an ounce and give him $400 back. So that's leaving me with 600. My father like, no, that ain't right. If you getting a half ounce at the end of the week and that's your pay, that's yours. Whatever you make off of that, that's yours. And he said, matter of fact, give it back to him. That's what my father told me. My father told me, you know, what he came up on that week, it was just a good time. Like, give it back to him. So I go to, like, man, my father, I straight tell him this. Like, my father told me I ain't supposed to be paying you off of this. Here, man, what you gonna do? Man, the dude said this to me, like, you think you supposed to have a whole half to yourself? I was about 17. He was like, yo, you think you supposed to have a whole half an ounce to yourself? I'm like, yeah, because you told me the value of the half an ounce was probably $300-400 back then. So I'm saying, you telling me, you give me $100 a day and you say I get half at the end of the week. Why am I paying you off of my half? He just tried to finesse me, and my father gave me $400. Told me to go buy my own half. And the dude wouldn't even sell me the half. When I went back, like, hey, I got my own $4, let me get a half. He wouldn't even sell me a half an ounce. Told me, and then tried to tell me I couldn't hustle where I lived at. Man, shit. Yeah, I told my old man, shit. I'm gonna hustle where I want to hustle at, bro. I live around here. So that's how that went. But my father, I was confused. I asked my father. How many dudes got a story like that with their father? I asked my father. My father, like he's supposed to do, got offended. What? Man, give it back to him. And he bought me my whole half an ounce, and I never dealt with that nigga again. For real. You can have your half. I don't care about that. My father put me in position to have my own stuff, bro. My father did that for me. You can't get no gang nowhere for that, bro. And one time, I tell you another thing, my father was a stand-up dude. Me and my father got the same name. I'm outside early in the morning, right? Y'all ride with me. If you don't like what I'm saying, get off my channel. You don't got to ride out with me. Everybody to ride with Rod don't riding out with me. So just ride out with me. Jump in the back seat of the car. I can't smoke. I can't drink nothing. But just ride out with me. So this is probably about 2001, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on the time. It's 01. Maybe 01, 02. It's no later than 01. It's no earlier than 01. It's no later than 02. So about 2000. I'm going to say it was 2002. I come outside early in the morning. Ricetown in Virginia. Whew. First thing in the morning. I'm an early bird. So I'm up 6 in the morning. I get outside 7 o'clock. I got about 200 pills. 200 dimes. That's about 200,000. That's about $2,000 worth of work. 200 dimes. I go to my big stash spot. I break my pills down. Right? Put 100 right here. Put 50 right here, put 50 right here, right? No, excuse me, I'm wrong. I did 2 stashes that morning. I took 150 pills and wrapped it up and put it where my father was staying at in the stash box. I took 25 pills and put them on me, and I put 25 pills so I can get to them quick. So I'm out there in the morning. I sell the first 25 pills. So I'm on my second batch of the 25 pills. I told you I put up. So I got about, I'm going to say about 8 of them done. 8 of them done out of that 25. So boom, police pull up. Oh, police, like, they pull up. They weird though. They weird, but they watching me. So I'm like, man, they on my line this morning. So I ain't paying attention. So I move around. So anyway, to fast forward the story, I wound up selling them pills. So that morning I came out with 200 pills. I sold 50 of them. I went and got me some weed and a breakfast sandwich because it was hot. And I was telling dudes that was coming out late, Like, boy, it's kind of hot out here because I usually sell back then on Ricestown Road. You come out 6:37 in the morning, I'll be finished, those pills by 12 o'clock for real. Because everybody start coming outside around 12. So I usually be finished. You feel what I'm saying? At least half of them will be gone, if not finished. So I'm on 50 and it's all about 10. So anyway, I go get some weed, roll me up a blunt. I'm sitting on somebody's porch, dog, because the police been lurking. Plus, they got a car parked not too far where my big stash at, where the other 150 pills at. So I can't get to the other 150 pills. So I'm just mobbing on the porch, chilling, smoking. The police, the knockers, they on foot now. They winging around, but I don't know they on my line. So boom, they on my line. So boom, they grabs me. They come on the porch. They're like, hey, what's up, Mr. English? That's my last name, English. Hey, what's up, Mr. English? Like, man, ain't nothing. No. This one I was a total idiot, man. Fuck on my face. So, back then, 2002, you was getting arrested for a blunt. So I got like 3 bags of weed on me, a big blunt sitting right here, and another blunt I'm smoking. I dropped the blunt down on my feet. He like, man, come on. Like, stand up. Hey, come on, man, what y'all doing? Whole time I'm thinking they got them 150 pills. I'm thinking they had some thing out here in Baltimore called COVID position. So that means they sit somewhere and watch you and say they was in a COVID position. So I'm thinking they got me on a COVID position. I'm like, oh man. So he handcuffed me. Boom. Put me in the car. I'm like, man, what am I getting arrested for? They said, we'll explain to you when you get to the police station. So I said, man, explain to me. So, man, I'm in the police station, bro. No bullshit. I told you, they was outside since early in the morning. They probably came around like 8 o'clock. They locked me up about 10:30 in the morning. I'm in the police station, man. I'm in the police station for like 4 hours. Like 3 o'clock. It's like they locked me like 10:30 something, but it's like 3 o'clock, right? It's like 2 o'clock. It ain't even shift change. That's about 2:30. So I'm in there, man. I'm sitting there with the cops, and there's one cop, man, that looked like he was cool. I asked him. I said, officer. I said, man, can you keep it real with me, bro? I've been in here for 4 hours. Y'all got me locked up, man. Am I in trouble or y'all faking? He like, listen, I'm going to keep it real. I ain't going to tell you what's going on, but I'm going to tell you this. If it's you that we looking for, you in a lot of trouble. If it's not you, you don't got nothing to worry about. So I was like, man, what the fuck, bro? I done did or what they got on me. Man, they coming in. The detectives coming in, y'all. True story. The detectives coming in with VCR boxes. Boom, boom, boom. They say, shorty. This what the police look me in my face and say. He say, shorty, I never knew you was banging like that. I said, what? I see the 3 boxes. I'm like, what? I'm like, banging like what? They like, yeah. I got 3 big boxes. I don't even know what's in a box, bro. I almost fell out because he said, I ain't know you was jamming like that. So I'm thinking it's bricks in the box. Man, my father come through there in a handcuff. True story. Yeah, daddy come through there in a handcuff. He look at me like my son don't got nothing to do with this. That's straight what he said. And the police was like, man, why you ain't tell me you and your father had the same name? Man, my father got busted with 150 pounds of weed. Yeah, my father got busted up with 150 pounds of weed in the mail. Pops got busted up with 150 pounds of them joints. And when we got the same name, and my father walked straight in there with the handcuffs, man, let my son go. Let my son go. Straight when he looked over there and seen they had me in a cover, my father said, let my son go. My son don't got nothing to do with this. You feel me? Let my son go, and they let me go. So that's the story I got about Pops. So, to lead back to the Texas situation, a lot of dudes be committing these crimes. They don't have fathers. They don't have uncles. They don't have big cousins. They looking up to OGs. They looking up to dudes that don't have fathers, don't have uncles, and a blind leading the blind, and that's what you have. You have a 5-year-old princess locked up. Yeah, damn. My daddy took his charge like a man. You know what I'm saying? My father took 150 pounds of them. All of them. I was mad because I remember because let me tell you this. Because my father was suffering from addiction, I remember on my birthday one time, I'm talking to him. I said, like, man, he telling me, man, come on, man. I used to play too much. I'm playing my father. So, like, come on, man. I got 100 pounds of weed in here, man. I don't got no time for playing. So I'm like, man, you ain't got no 150 pounds of weed in here. So my homeboy, right? My own boy, man. Shout out to him, my man Gary, man. Shout out to Gary, man. Gary tell me, Gary, like, look, yo. My father name was Bo. Gary, like, yo, let's just hit Leo. Let's hit Uncle Bo across the head with something, bro, and take them pounds, bro. And when he wake up, we just gonna look out for him. I'm like, nah, man, I'm just looking at my man. Would you do that to your father? Like, man, I'm not doing. And I'm like, bro, he don't got no 100 pounds of weed in the thing anyway, bro. He playing, bro. He just walking something around the corner, bro. Had that weed in there. Yeah, and I remember they was like all on the sheets, and he came back around the corner because it was my birthday. He came back around the corner, gave me like an ounce, just gave me a bag full of weed. Yeah, boy, happy birthday. It's my father, yo. That's what I say about my father, man. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Hey, somebody donated to the channel, man. Shout out to my brother who donated to the channel, man. Somebody else donated to the channel, man. We got a $10 deposit in here for my brother Mark. Mark, I appreciate you that, man. We dropping the merch soon too. But that's how I feel. And I got into that story just to say, like, a lot of these crimes because dudes be sunned out and they don't be men, yo. They don't be men, bro, and they don't be having no father figures around, bro, to tell them that, bro. And the dudes that be leading the blind probably do be having a father. They are afraid to do things. A lot of dudes are raised up by their mothers and stuff like that. And dudes that don't, run and don't disrespect their mothers and disrespect their grandmother, disrespect all the women in their family because it was never a strong male figure around. Get out here and start pointing fingers and telling little solid dudes to do something. Solid dudes really don't have no mind. See, it is. See, the ghetto messed up. They'll have a dude born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he's manipulating a dude that didn't have a silver spoon in his mouth because he might be letting him sleep in a house. He might have looked out for him a couple times because us mud babies, what I say, us mud babies, mother and fathers that got house, that grew up in the project, we got a lot of loyalty in us. See what I'm saying? And then you get these silver spoon dudes get to mixing with the ghetto boys and girls, and things go haywire because we, the average loyal. Loyal ain't the word. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I was hungry that night, bro. Your mother fed me, so that's to the heart. And then dudes that get meals and get fed every night and don't like some of the food they mother give them, they take that for granted. You get what I'm saying? People that never had a lot doesn't take friendship and things you do for them for granted. Like myself, I don't take nothing for granted anybody do for me. I appreciate that because that's the way I was raised. I was raised off the motto of it's better to give than receive. And then it no matter if you like something or not. Grandma, this is what I learned from the old women. It's better to give than receive. If you don't got nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. You know what I mean? They the two things you learn from grandma. And when somebody give you something, show appreciation whether you like it or not. Because them nasty cakes and them red and white candy canes halls, like when you go to church, they used to want to give you 6 or 7 of them candies, and you try to eat them because you're greedy as a kid, but it's opening your nose up. You get what I'm saying? You really don't want it. My grandma told me, like, don't you ever tell nobody, that lady was in college, she paid $1 for them. And she was nice enough to give all the kids something. Why would you act like you ain't appreciating enough if you don't like it? You get what I'm saying? So I'm a fat kid, so I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, this lady and I would try to duck her with the red and white candies. Y'all know the red and white candies. Then she started getting the green ones. Y'all know if y'all went to church in the 80s and 90s, then she started getting the green and white ones. The green and white ones had a little flavor in them. So I'll go for that. So I like the green ones. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. I like the green ones. Yeah, Miss so you had the green ones? You just because she realized that the red and white ones, man, it was like, man, come on, man. It was not candy canes taste, but these are mint candies. They were red and white, and then you had the green and white. Anybody that went to church know it was the famous church candies. Anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about? The famous church candies. Your people gave you the same church candies. People did. I got the famous church candies before. And this church candy is pretty good. But, I got tired of them. But my grandmother taught me, like, even with food, like, you be looking at the food. Like, when I come out that area where they eat lima beans and man, I'd be like, man, I don't want this. You know what I mean? But I couldn't say, I had to act like I appreciate it. And that's just the way it goes, man. So I was just brought in. But let's see what Charleston White got to say, man. Thank y'all for riding with me because that's what I do on my podcast. Every now and then I have to tell a story, and I ain't been with y'all in a while, and I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. So, man, like this video, share this video. Setting Nash, y'all right, but, man, I just shouldn't let him get no burn. Tired of playing YouTube. It's Charleston White.
The preacher can't preach that too.
But we all got to pay for our father's sins. It's scripture. You might not even know your daddy. Never met that mother before. You got to pay for it. Same with your mama. You got to suffer for it. And it's out of your control, boys and girls. You don't get to pick the mother and father that you are born to. You don't get to choose the conditions. You don't get to choose the circumstances.
A few moments later.
Y'all clap for it. Oh, man, he a snitch. Man, call the police on him. When the Fort Worth ISD came out and was giving out the $1,500, $1,750 for turning the gang member with a gun. Come on now, y'all clap for this. Now y'all want to cry. But you laugh later. Now you crying now. You laugh later. Now you crying now. And now all the city is. Y'all helped build this city like this here. Remember, y'all all got behind Go Yayo, and all he did was fight. And all people died around him. Children died around Go Yayo. Y'all forgot? Haven't y'all forgot? My 40 go boom. They took this song. Let me play it for you. Hold on. Let's play it.
Come on, y'all like this video, man. Somebody doing the cash thing. 16 lights in there. Ramadan.
The hearts of
no
children.
grass,
and
no
he
nothing.
performed it in front of the schools, in front of
Tell me I
our
can't deliver to my people. I don't gotta be high enough.
murderous, killing music was brought to our babies, and y'all co-signed this for what? Still in awe. I'm still in shock.
Charleston White and Jesse Taylor, who run a local mentoring nonprofit, are amongst those calling foul on Fort Worth ISD.
I got shot when I was 15. My cousin was burned all over the rap stuff.
Wondering why the school would bring this person to speak to middle schoolers.
Very distasteful. Very extremely distasteful. And someone should be held accountable. Y'all got mad.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to make this about me.
He's not lying. He not.
But come on now. Do I need to remind y'all? Do I need to remind y'all? Lil Rodney and them was babies. J-Dub, they were babies. CJ Casino, them niggas were babies. That put this music scene on, and it's been death and destruction ever since they've been rapping. So we go act like, come on now. Come on now. Now all of a sudden, I can't believe this. They've been having shootouts.
Yeah.
Around this motherfucker.
Yeah.
They were just before Go Yayo went to jail. What they trying to meet up with CJ going to his back, they've been shoot. Come on now. Y'all been watching this shit on the internet. But now it's an innocent baby. Because we all born into sin, none of us is innocent.
Right.
I'm going to say it again.
Because we all born into sin, none of us innocent. That's deep.
An innocent baby lost her life.
Wow, look at my salam, Rockman to
in the
Allah.
natural realm of things. But in the spiritual realm of things, none of us is innocent, not even that baby who lost her life, because the Bible says that you will suffer from your father's sins. Even if he absent, you will suffer
my brother
from your father's
thanks for the
sins. So that
donation,
had
brother.
to suffer for
my brothers.
My brothers.
Shout out to Mark. Shout out for Safi putting 20 in the cash.
So
Let's go.
It ain't what it is.
$20 and 20 lights. I'm blessed.
Get
Thank
out
you.
your feelings.
Allahu Akbar. I'm doing live.
Because whenever you in your feelings,
thank you, brother.
You can't gather into your faith. Faith and feelings don't run parallel together.
Right. Faith and feelings doesn't run parallel together. You get what I'm saying? And I heard that before because, like I said in my post on Facebook earlier, I grew up as a Christian, like a lot of us did. Like a lot of us grew up in Christianity. I'm not here to fake and tell you. I grew up in the church, sung on the choir, family with this. You get what I'm saying? Everything, bro. Like I grew up in the church, man. It was about, I wasn't feeling the church. I had mixed feelings in the church, man. I wasn't feeling it because it was just like, sometimes you feel like the preacher was talking to me. And and then it was like I was scared in church. Like I was like, man, if I do this, I'm going to hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta be, what I mean? Church had me spooked out, bro. I ain't gonna lie, church had me spooked out, man. And my grandma probably turned on agree.
Later on BBC.
His image is one of drug use and violence.
Well, yeah, I grew up in a Christian family, and just to be 100 with you, right? It's some beautiful, lovely, caring, honest, respectful Christians out here. But since a little kid, I was surrounded by a lot of fake Christians. Because one thing about me is I believe that I'm human. You get what I'm saying? That God is not human. You know what I'm saying? Allah is not human. We are human in the flesh. Allah is not. So I said, man, where is God at that just understand man? That's what I wanted to know. Where is God understand man? Like, if I die today and tomorrow, right? And I used to ask myself when I was little, right? Like, I died and I'm selling drugs and toting guns, right? Because I'm a product of my environment. Do God be merciful on us for that? Right? Like, yeah, your grandma took you the good book, but do they be merciful when the preacher cheating, when a person that you seek knowledge from, he cracking the whole church? Like it's you. I don't like I just want to know. In Islam, I learned that we all gonna touch the hellfire. That caught me right there. So we all gonna go to hell, and then God bring us out. That makes more sense than me just if I don't do this or accept the Lord from accept Jesus as my Lord and personal Savior, and I'm going to hell. That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught. I said, on your deathbed, you gotta accept Jesus. And I used to pray that. And I can never tell you prayer don't make a difference if prayer wasn't important. But man, when I learned, I ain't know nothing. Let me get that real with y'all for now because the month of Ramadan. Let me kick some now. I ain't know nothing. And let me keep it real with you. I ain't know nothing. And I had like a 90 average in school. I ain't know nothing, bro. I never knew who the original man was. I didn't know who Marcus Garvey was. I didn't know. Only people that I knew in history going into Baltimore City Public School was I knew Frederick Douglass. I heard of Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Garrett Morgan, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Rosa Parks. They was the only 6 people that I ever knew. Never knew who Sojourner Truth was. I never knew who Nina Simone was. I never knew who Sister Soldier was. And I didn't know Marcus Garvey owned ships just as big as cruise ships. I ain't know who these people was, bro. I did not know. I did not know that you could be black and own your own, do certain things. I just thought black people supposed to work a good job, pay your 30-year mortgage, and get a pension when you older. I ain't know a lot of stuff. I wasn't taught that. My uncles told me, man, you got to go out here and get a trade, man, and get with the union. They take care of you the rest of your life. Nobody, and then you go out here, man, and you go do good with Providence Bank, and they give you a loan to get you a house, man. And you go to Archway Ford, man, and you go up there, man, with your credit. See, my uncles did teach me one thing: keep your credit good. But I never knew what credit did. All I knew was credit would be good to get a house and to get a car, and then you could get stuff on credit. You just had to pay them every month. I ain't know credit can make you a millionaire. I ain't know certain stuff. My people had good credit. They didn't really do much with it, but they had good credit for what they wanted. I didn't know certain things, bro, until I walked in the masjid. I walked in the Nation of Islam, and a brother took me around Baltimore and showed me black businesses, from bakeries to car washes to construction companies, black businesses. And I learned, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be a boss. I wanted to be a boss in it. And then when I went in the mosque for the first time, everybody was dressed real nice. The sisters, I couldn't look at a sister booty because in church, man. Now, man, your little penis be hard. Some of that stuff they got on the church. And then I noticed the women were sitting one way so I could really focus. And then the man was telling me stuff that, the minister was teaching stuff that made sense. That was the reality. Telling me how to eat to live, telling me, I learned about pork. I remember going to the house and told my grandmother, I'm Muslim, I don't eat pork. And my grandmother, she didn't even cuss. But she cussed that day and said, "What the F you get? What the F you, when you?" She said, "Well, the effing Muslims better find you something to eat, because you know, growing up with your great grandmother, boy, you ate everything the pig had to offer. We ate pig feet, pig ears, we ate bacon, we ate chitlins, we ate pig back, we ate hog head cheese, man. We ate everything off of the pig, bro. We ate everything off of the pig, bro. So you know what I mean." And I told her I wasn't eating that pork no more, and you know, it changed my life. And then I was in the nation for a long time, from like 16, 17, and I was mismatching, because you know, when you first take over leave, I thought, okay, I'm gonna eat pork every Thanksgiving. I thought, you know, when I first got into Islam, I could still celebrate Thanksgiving and eat the pork. You know what I mean? I don't eat pork every day. I had to learn, and it wasn't until I was like in my 30 that an incident happened, and I got out the nation, because I realized that the nation was good for me as an African American male, but the nation wasn't good for me as far as seeking that salvation and religion and trying to get closer to God. That's when I said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah. You get what I'm saying? I confess with my tongue, and then this, when I became Sunni Muslim, like 30, I learned the truth. So at the end of the day, the knowledge I got in my brain is, I come up in the nation. I will never knock the nation. I will never not slam my nation brothers. I love my nation brothers unconditionally. I ain't one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? If you know me, if you know anything about me, I don't pick and choose. I'm a Sunni Muslim. I love the Sunni community. I love my Sahabas. You get what I'm saying? I'm a Salafi. I follow the Salafi, the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, wa alayhi salam, may peace and blessings upon him. I'm not a perfect Muslim. You know what I'm saying? I've missed millions of prayers. I missed millions of Jumu'ah. I missed millions of service. That I understand Allah knows best. I fear Allah. You get what I'm saying? And I know Allah don't make perfect people. You get what I'm saying? He didn't do that. You get what I'm saying? So I know it was more understanding for me. And then when I realized, when I became Sunni Muslim, that they believed in Jesus, Isa wa alayhi salam, may peace and blessings be upon him. When I learned that, you know, Jesus was in the seventh heavens, and when I became converted over to Sunni Muslims, and I realized John the Baptist is a part of the Muslim community, when I realized everybody, and I realized, oh, this is the same thing. That's for another podcast, but I realized this is almost the same thing. You get what I'm saying? Christianity is not too far at all from the Muslims. Just the only difference is we don't believe that Isa wa alayhi salam and peace and blessing him is the son of God. That we don't believe that the Virgin Mary just had a baby. We believe that you have a baby through sex. You know what I mean? But that's neither here or there. But you know, once I realized that the people that I learned about when I was a kid was in the same Quran, Sunnah, the Old Testament, and I learned that, I said, hold up. This is right for me. I don't know what's right for you, and you, but I said this thing is right for me. And that's what brings me to this day. 40 plus Sunni Muslim.
Yet this rapper was brought into a Fort Worth middle school to get kids excited for STAR testing. The community is angry, saying this is not the influence they want on their kids.
The district blames the appearance on a radio station, but the station says it brought in a different artist. Here's Newsday's Lauren's account.
By the sounds of it, you'd think this was the start of a concert. But what you're seeing in these YouTube videos was actually a pep rally for the STAR test at Morningside Middle School in Fort Worth. And this was the man hyping up the kids, a local rapper named Go Yayo. This is the music video for his hit Boom God.
I'm still in awe. I'm still in shock.
Charleston White and Jesse Taylor, who run a local mentoring nonprofit, are amongst those calling foul on Fort Worth ISD.
I got shot when I was 15. My cousin was
Wondering why the school would bring this person to speak to middle schoolers.
Very distasteful. Very extremely distasteful.
Make sure the neighborhood was good. Yeah.
And someone should
They're
be
the same brothers I learned from, bro. Delaney.
District spokesman Clint Bond says the school principal didn't know Yayo would be part of the rally on May 6th, saying a radio station brought him.
The radio station says absolutely not. Yayo's appearance had nothing to do with that.
There was some sort of miscommunication. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you that it probably won't happen again.
Come on, man. Can I get some donations in here? Y'all talking to me, baby. Let me get some donations in here, baby.
Even though
I think we broke that too. Granny said you better stop that.
White and Taylor worry
Let
about
me read some of my comments fast. Same here. That's why my dad turned on me. Yo, say, we appreciate you 5,000.
Yayo's manager backed out of our interview and did not give us a statement.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody that been tapping in for me, man. You know, I'm fasting and I gotta get back in with you. I ain't really playing no games. I need to be at night. I really need to get into it at night. But after I break my fast at night, man, I be hungry, bro. And then I be hungry. Then I'm like, yeah, me. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, Lord forgive me, but I might have to crush a couple of them, and after that, I be sleep. You know, I be sleep. I don't even really get to do much after that. But you know, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean. But I always say that I'm gonna tap in. But this weekend, I'm gonna double down on y'all. I'm gonna get y'all right. You heard me. So they putting all this on Go, yeah, yo. So
Could nobody get him and get him away like they did Lil Wayne? It ain't no babies around here to take these boys and say, no, man, I got you. Let me get you away from this. They on stage with the damn baby. Old ass niggas. The kids can't get right because the mamas won't get right. When the parents go to thinking better, when you got a kid with talent like that, my nigga, everybody is supposed to huddle around him and shield him and protect him. You do it to your ball players. You do it to your football players. That's what you do when it's a village. But it ain't no goddamn village. All these goddamn hoods, my nigga. So the boy done failed. He ain't doing no goddamn well now. He won't go no fucking well.
hey, yo, you. I don't really pay the boy Nash. Said he now. I'm just getting the chance. Shout out to Keeping It the G News. What up, baby?
Man, call the police on him. When the Fort ISD came out, it was giving out the $1,500, $1,750 for turning the gang member with a gun. Come on now, y'all clap for this. Now y'all want to cry. But you laugh later. Now you crying now. You laugh later. Now you crying now. And now all the city is. Y'all helped build this city like this here. Remember, y'all all got behind Go Yayo, and all he did was fight. And all people died around him. Children died around Go Yayo. Y'all forgot? Haven't y'all forgot? My 40 go boom. They took this song. Let me play.
I see. That's what I say, man. That's what I love about this YouTube. You digging the crate. Go Yayo was an idiot, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he went a little hard. Yeah, for real, but you know, I don't know, man. Go Yayo. Them dudes different, bro. Them dudes different, bro. Like the way the rap game going, and it's the first time y'all ever gonna hear me say this. Because I argue with dudes all the time, bro. Shout out to my brother E Watts, man. Free Watts, man. Keeping It a G News. You know, even my man Megatron. Some older guys that I talk with, they just believe that hip hop is messed up. They truly believe that in the bottom of their hearts. And anybody that know me know I love hip hop. So I'm always defending it, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. Some of this stuff is getting out of order and it's beyond me. And the music was never created to have a reflection because we used to say back in the 90s, right? If a dude say he got AK and shot 50 people, you're not really gonna go get an AK. But then I had to think about it. Oh, we was the people that was coming out the 60s and 70s, you know, that grew up in the 80s and 90s. So we still had that mentality once the 2000s came in. You know what I mean? It was all she wrote. And nevertheless, 2010 and now, you get what I'm saying? From hip hop was, you know, first hip hop album dropped in 79. So you do 89, 99, 2009. You know what I mean? That's 30 years of music, right? That was away. And then 30 years, 16 years in after that, because hip hop been here 51 years since, I'm going to say, since that drill scene popped up. Because I felt like it always been a drill scene. I'm a hip hop. I feel like it's always been disrespectful. Rappers always been talking gangster stuff, but now it's like dudes just say I'm gonna kill you and then really go out here and catch a body, or they start talking about their man body. And then dudes didn't even realize what happened with that when Bobby Shmurda first went to jail. Rajah still in jail. I just got hit with the body a week ago. Remember that joint? Shorty still in jail. Yeah, I forgot. Somebody put in there. What he say? Says got about a week ago. And then Shorty still in jail. A-Rod and them still behind the door. Rajah, A-Rod and them still behind the door. They still behind the door. You know, when you get your name put in them raps and known for being him, they still behind the door 75 and 40 years. I ain't saying Rowdy and Bobby ain't paying their lawyers and trying to get them home, but they still behind the door off of that one song. And we be in the hot niggas. Like I told Tay when I shot. Yeah, some of them dudes are still behind the door. Yeah, they still behind the door. Yeah, still doing their time. Got a lot of it too. Fighting appeals and doing all that. You know what I mean? It ain't even about conscious rap. It's about rapper. It's like guns. Guns and drugs get in the hands of smart people. It's people that know what to do with them. Then it start trickling down to people that just don't know. It start getting in anybody's hand. Remember at one time, like when you went to go get certain things, only a selected people knew. You know what I mean? Just like the chicken sandwich from Popeyes. When you first got the chicken sandwich, like, yo, this joint smack. But after you had your first chicken sandwich and you try to go 2 weeks later and check the chicken sandwich out, it was horrible. It was horrible because now there's a high demand. So now the authenticity and the touch is not gentle that's on the product. That's just real talk. That's just what I'm telling y'all, man. You know what I mean? But let's get into my man Donald Trump, man. You know, the music. Oh, I gotta get back to what I was saying. I finally can say the new music of today is really killing our community. I didn't grow up with music that was killing our community. I grew up off of self-destruction. We all in the same game. Sugar Hill. You know, I grew up off dudes rap. I grew up with different things. I grew up with the ignorance of hip-hop, the coolest of hip-hop. I did different things. You know what I mean? I did different things. So we want to get in. This is deep, and I want to do this. This man's crazy. This man's crazy, man. So we got the boy Trump on the chopping block. We already did Little Ronnie. Rest in peace to Little Ronnie, especially that beautiful princess. And I ain't, you know, I don't wish death or prison on no man, but for them idiots for what they did, boy, I don't have to wish it on you. Texas gonna do it to you. And now nobody have to wish and say they're gonna get what they got, or they're gonna do what they're gonna do. No, sir. Texas gonna kill them. Ain't no joking in that. You know what I mean? Ain't no joking. Texas gonna kill them. Hey, everybody know that. We ain't even the rocks. I was about to tell you. I'll tell y'all.
Many people have.
Texas is a beautiful place, right? Texas is a beautiful place. But before you decide to move your little boy and your little girl to Texas, well, you pretty much have to worry about your little girl. But before you move your little boy to Texas, to beautiful Houston with all them opportunities, make sure you get them together. Because if you don't get them together before you travel to Texas to move and start your new life, mommy and daddy can have great business and stuff. He messes up out there. Texas make you a believer. That's all I'm telling you. 50 years, 30 years. And then if he do a crime big enough, they won't second chance you in Texas.
Died from fentanyl that came through the borders of Canada and Mexico, and nothing has convinced me that it has stopped. He said that it's gotten better, and I said, that's not good enough. The call ended in a somewhat friendly manner. He was unable to tell me when the Canadian election is taking place, which made me curious, like, what's going on here? I then realized he's trying to use this issue to stay in power. Good luck, Justin. Shockingly, Trudeau held a press conference claiming he will not be stepping down as planned, but will stay on to negotiate tariffs with Trump, exactly like Trump said.
Yesterday, I spoke with President Trump, and I reiterated the facts. Our border is secure, and less than 1% of the illegal fentanyl entering the United States comes from Canada. Even so, we took action with our $1.3 billion plan to further strengthen our border. Canada's ministers, officials, and I will continue to engage with our American counterparts. Our goal remains to get these tariffs, all tariffs, removed.
I don't know, I'm working on it
In
now.
the meantime, we'll be taking action to support Canadians through the tough times ahead. You can count on leadership right across the country, municipalities, provinces, and indeed, your federal government.
Trump then clocked onto this and exposed Trudeau's tactics, saying, believe it or not, despite the terrible job he's done for Canada, I think that Justin Trudeau is using the tariff problem, which he has largely caused, in order to run again for Prime Minister. So much fun to watch. Trudeau was then on the brink of tears during the press conference after the heated conversation, trying to reassure Canadians that he has everything under control.
On a personal level, I've made sure that every single day in this office, I put Canadians first, that I have people's backs. And that's why I'm here to tell you all that we got you. Even in the very last days of this government, we will not let Canadians down today and long into the future.
Online commentators mocked this spectacle, with this person saying, Governor Trudeau is crying. Trump broke him. And US Senator John Kennedy is urging Justin Trudeau to take Trump's tariffs very seriously.
Here's what we do know. We do know at this juncture, whether you like him or you don't, Donald Trump is serious as 4 heart attacks and a stroke. And if I were Mr. Trudeau, who will be hurt by these tariffs, I would get cracking on trying to stop the illegal immigration and the fentanyl.
And despite Trump's threats and heated discussions, Trudeau will not be seen to back down, putting the economic stability of his country in the firing line.
To my fellow Canadians, I won't sugarcoat it. This is going to be tough, even though we're all going to pull together, because that's what we do. We will use every tool at our disposal so Canadian workers and businesses can weather this storm. From expanding EI benefits and making them more flexible to providing direct supports to businesses, we will be there as needed to help. But Canada, make no mistake, no matter how long this lasts, no matter what the cost, the federal government and other orders of government will be there for you. We will defend Canadian jobs. We will take measures to prevent predatory behavior that threatens Canadian companies because of the impacts of this trade war, leaving them open to takeovers. We will relentlessly fight to protect our economy. We will stand up for Canadians every single second of every single day because this country is worth fighting for.
Trump hit back mockingly, saying, please explain to Governor Trudeau of Canada that when he puts on a retaliatory tariff on the US, our reciprocal tariff will immediately increase by a like amount. Commentators were in hysterics, with this person saying, Justin Trudeau tried to act tough against the tariffs President Trump has for Canada. Trump then responded by calling him Governor Trudeau and making it abundantly clear that the US will win with tariffs. The greatness of Trump is that he wins for us while being truly hilarious. And the alternative Canadian leader, Pierre Poilievre, isn't going to be much easier for Trump to negotiate with, it seems, launching this scathing attack at the president.
At 12:01 a.m., President Trump stabbed America's best friend in the back. My message to the president is this: Canada will fight back. We will defend our people and our economy, and we will put Canada first. There is no doubt that our economy will suffer, but so will yours, President Trump. In fact, you're already paying the price, with trillions of dollars erased in stock market value over the last month of these threats. Already, Americans are paying higher gas prices, as at midnight, a new American gas tax kicked in on U.S. working class taxpayers and motorists. Your workers will soon start losing jobs they had upgrading Canadian raw materials, which, by the way, you were getting at an incredible and ridiculous bargain. And your businesses will be selling fewer products to your closest neighbor.
No, that needs a whole video. That was deep. Like, bro, that was so deep that I need to get into this. You know, I've been just focusing on Ramadan. This boy going crazy. Trump, my little man and all that, but Trump doing too much, bro. And they gonna team up and they gonna come at us, bro. And Trump playing, bro.
It is true. The United States is making huge changes when it comes to how we are approaching the war in Ukraine. President Trump has ordered a pause on intelligence sharing with Ukraine altogether. This comes, of course, after the administration halted the shipment of weapons. In a speech last night, the president defended his approach to the war, saying you got to talk to both sides to end a war. Meanwhile, Zelensky says he does see forward momentum in cooperation with the U.S. Yesterday, he posted
small business optimism, so its single largest 1 month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
Burn what up?
Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
If you ask me,
California used to be the traveler's dream. You live as one. That
if you ask me, and I'm gonna do ghetto lingo. Chad, what do we do when we have a problem? Right? You know, I'm like, Fat Paul Castellano. If y'all in the mafia movies, Fat Paul Castellano, brilliant businessman, big mob boss. What's known as Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Manhattan. Paul was the head of the commission. Like President Trump is the commander-in-chief. Fat Paul was the head of the commission. Some young people like by the name of Gotti, John Gotti, Sammy, two other men all get together and they eliminate the problem. Some of the, I don't know, bro. I feel like Trump, I support some of the things that the president do, but some of the things the president is getting out of order. And Canada has been great to the United States. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe everybody's gonna get chumped out. I'm just a big believer of that. Everybody's not gonna get chumped out. Everybody not gonna get BITCH. That's just not going to happen, bro. And some people can fight back. Yeah, we the free land. We got our allies. But now Trump has started so many problems. I just want to know who he cool with. That's what I'm concerned about. Who is our president of the United States actually cool with to make this thing work and make this thing grow the way it's supposed to grow? But again, please hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Don't be afraid to use that Cash App right there to support the channel. Oh man. It says reacts to Democrat holding signs walking out. This is deep. This is deep.
PrestonFordWest.com. In his speech last night before the nation, President Trump did talk about tariffs and acknowledged that Americans may feel some pain. Listen.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much.
All right, with us now is the Senate Minority Leader, Senator Chuck Schumer from New York. Senator, thank you so much for being with us. You heard the president talking about tariffs last night. What was your takeaway? What do you think will happen in the next few days or weeks?
Well, good morning, John. It's good to be on with you. Look, the number one issue that the American people want us to work on is costs, rising costs of food and of housing and of gas and of cars and of everything else. Tariffs will raise the costs. The kind of tariffs the president proposed on Canada, Mexico, China will raise the cost for the average American family by $2,000. So that is exactly the wrong prescription for what we need. It will raise the cost not just of a few things, but of things across the board, of food, of gasoline, cars. 40% of the materials in our cars are made in Canada, and cars are part of the Midwest economy that's so important. It's the economy in lots of places in the country, and those costs are going to go way up. It's going to be even hard to make cars with these tariffs on Canada. So this is an outrageous policy that hurts the American people. And you ask the American people are asking, why is he doing this? Well, I'll tell you why he's doing it. They want to give tax breaks to their billionaire buddies, and they're trying to find ways to pay for it. One way is by cutting Medicaid. That's very unpopular. Another way is calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. That's very unpopular. And so they're looking for tariffs, but it's even worse. And so I think this is something the American people will vehemently oppose. And I think there are going to be a lot of Republican senators and congressmen, they've been grumbling under their breath, but who are going to have to come out against this plan, which is unthought out, which doesn't look at the dire consequences to raising the cost of the American people. Also, they can give tax breaks to their billionaire buddies.
One bit of breaking news on the tariff front. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is doing an interview just a few minutes ago with Bloomberg, where he seemed to back off. Yesterday, he claimed that President Trump may be willing to meet in the middle with Canada and Mexico, maybe retreating now this morning from that, saying maybe some accommodation could be reached on autos alone. But we'll have to wait and see how that develops a little bit more over the next few minutes.
But John, you know what this says? And it's typical of all of Trump's speech. It is so unthought out. It's sloganeering. It's partisan. In many instances, it was nasty. You know, you got more truth in Alyssa Slotkin's response in 5 minutes than you got in 100 minutes of Donald Trump's long dialogue. And so they don't think these things out. So they say one thing one day and one thing the next day. But he said he's sticking with tariffs, and that's going to be bad for the pocketbooks of American families.
You called it nasty. It was like 4 minutes into the speech when Congressman Al Green was yelling at the podium and he was escorted out. What was going through your head as you heard the congressman yelling?
Well, look, the bottom line is lots of people are frustrated, but the best way to protest what Trump is doing what we are doing and many senators and many congressmen are doing, and that is organizing against these horrible policies of calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme and then slashing.
Would you rather
So here's what we're, John, here's what we're doing.
Good morning, bro. You finally got ready.
Let me just say, the best answer in my judgment,
when I
is
pray,
to
I
organize.
can't. My head
So
near my
I
face.
put a call together last week with our activists. I thought 300-400 people would get on the phone. 4,000, 3,000 people got on the phone. And what we all decided was we're going to focus our energy on the 6 Republican Congress members from New York, because they hold the key to stopping these horrible policies. As you know, in the House, all you need 1 or 2. In the Senate, you need 3 or 4. We don't have Republican senators in New York, but in other states there are. And the best way to organize and protest is to organize. Organizing is hard, but it's effective. And that's what we're doing.
Well, let me ask a different way. Would you rather see Democrats more in line with what Senator Alyssa Slotkin was saying, or more in line with what Congressman Al Green and people holding signs in the audience were doing last night?
Look, I thought Alyssa Slotkin, I chose her because she is such one of our rising stars from the Midwest, won a race, knows how to talk to average folks, to working families, and she did a great job. And I think, again, the American people got more truth in her 5 minutes of her speech than with all the lies, with all the misconceptions, with all the things that were departing from reality. When Donald Trump says he's the greatest president after 30 days of chaos and hurting people since George Washington, give me a break.
You, of course, were one of many Democratic senators who voted to confirm Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. We just got word this morning that Jim Sciutto and others are reporting that intelligence sharing was curtailed, at least in part, with Ukraine. CIA Director John Ratcliffe seemed to suggest that it had been curtailed, maybe now won't be. What's your view of that? And B, do you regret your vote to confirm Marco Rubio as Secretary of State?
Okay, so first let me say what you brought up just portrays one of the many, many problems, huge problems with this administration. They don't even, one day they say one thing, one day they say the next thing. I don't even know if the president knows what these folks are doing. So they talk about, we're going to cut off intelligence. We're not. It's a huge mistake to cut off intelligence. Huge, huge mistake. The Ukrainians need it. The collaboration between America and Ukraine has proven to be very, very effective. The one person who's happy that we might cut off intelligence to Ukraine is Vladimir Putin, this bully, this dictator who Donald Trump seems to be interested in finding friendship with, even treating Zelensky and the brave Ukrainians poorly. There are a good number of Republicans who agree with us, and I hope they will join with us. It's on them to curtail the excesses, the horrible things that the Trump administration may be proposing to abandon Ukraine.
Politico and others are reporting they had a meeting last week with former Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg. Politico writes, Pete Buttigieg met with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer last week to discuss a possible Senate bid in Michigan, according to 2 people familiar with the meeting and granted anonymity to describe private conversations. How was the meeting?
I'm not getting into any private meetings I've had like that.
Did a private meeting exist like that?
I'm not getting into it.
Senator Chuck Schumer from New York, thank you very much. We will interpret that laugh for ages.
Hey, boy, said they ain't getting into no private meetings, boy. Hey, I know what the private meetings about. I know what they probably meet, the big reset, the collapse that will change age.
You said that the U.S. is in stage 5. And to give everybody an idea, stage 6 is basically revolution, war. It's the violent restructuring of the economy. And
Yeah, man, this really took me off of my square because, by me not,
Trump touted the whirlwind start to his second administration while foreshadowing more big changes to come.
But those unhappy with those changes were loud as well. The president briefly had to halt his address to a joint session of Congress as the Democrat protest erupted in the chamber.
Chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Democratic Congressman Al Green from Houston refused multiple warnings to sit down and stop interrupting just minutes into the speech. It was one of several visible signs of dissent from Democrats. Fox 4's Casey Stegall in studio now with the moments and key comments also from the president. Casey.
Yes, Steve, Heather, President Trump spoke for about 1 hour and 40 minutes in the House chamber tonight. It felt like a State of the Union address, but it technically was not called that since the president has not been in office for a full year. The last time he addressed joint sessions of Congress in this way was 2020 during his first term when Nancy Pelosi famously ripped up his speech behind him after it was all over. Now tonight, President Trump spent a fair amount of time doing victory laps, and as expected, he placed blame for many of the issues that Americans are facing at the feet of his predecessor, Joe Biden. From the price of eggs to crime in U.S. cities, the president touted his nearly 100 executive orders and more than 400 executive actions, as well as being the catalyst for what he called restoring common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth to the country. He spent less time addressing measures passed through Congress that, while might be more difficult, they're more likely to last beyond his administration.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country.
The president also spoke a great deal on the rising cost of living for Americans, inflation. Mr. Trump insisted that he's combating that with cuts to the federal workforce, laying off thousands of those probationary federal employees. Many of those actions, as we know, have faced legal challenges, and the Trump administration has acknowledged there has been some collateral damages, mistakenly having a negative impact on critical programs. The president lauded the work of Elon Musk, the newly appointed head of DOE, or the Department of Government Efficiency, while also warning of unelected bureaucrats. Mr. Trump went through a very long list of waste that he says has been uncovered by DOGE, including several claims that lacked context. Even some of his own officials have contradicted.
We're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
The president spoke a lot about foreign trade from the podium tonight after he enacted new tariffs just today on the nation's top 3 trade partners, Mexico, Canada, and China. A 25% tariff was placed on goods coming into the United States from Canada and Mexico. He doubled the tariff on some imported products from China from 10% to 20%. Now, Canada and China have already enacted retaliatory tariffs on the U.S., with Mexico saying it plans to do the same as early as Sunday. President Trump did acknowledge, however, that tariffs may cause a few bumps in the road out of the gate.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
Tonight, President Trump also announced that the FBI, DOJ...
Hey, listen, man, I can't. Donald Trump is insane, bro. But what if he do work, man? Make sure y'all hit that notification. But I got to get ready. Jumar's at 1 o'clock, so I got to get ready for Jumar and get that Jumar. Then it'll be a couple hours before. Also, we're gonna make Thor and Jumar. I'm gonna make Thor today and Jumar, and also and Margaret prayer. All 3 of my prayers be done at Jumar today. I'm gonna go to Jumar. Hang out around Jumar, get some stuff done, man. Hey, listen, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave it to comment, donate to the channel. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I can't say my intro, but Rod Doe Podcast Vlog. To all the fasting Muslims across the world, man. Ramadan is here, man. Keep up your fast, man. If you're not even Muslim and you want to join the fast, join the fast. It's good for healthy. It's good. It helps the mind, body, and soul, man. But hey, no F No foolishness, no fakeness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. Raw Dope Podcast vlog. Catch me tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. I will be tapping it, and I will get back on tonight if I'm in the house. I will.